What's up, guys? Welcome back. And if you're new here, what's up? And I'm gonna be talking about how I survived almost getting stranded in a river. So it is a miracle that I'm here today because let me tell you. And I also got hopefully I don't drop anything, but I also got a mangonada fresa. So y'all, look at this. This looks so good, but it's still frozen, so I have to wait a little bit. So mind you, this is my first time camping. I'm 14 years old and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was up. I was there camping with my family, like my tios, tias, cousins. They were all there, you know. And it was like our second or third day camping, and that's whenever as a group we decided that we wanted to go on the river and explore a little bit. One of my tios, they've been going camping for years. Like every year they go camping, and you know, we decided to follow him, and because he knew the directions and everything of the river, or so we thought. We decided to get in our little donuts. You know, we couldn't go without a floaty because there was a bunch of rocks, and I don't know what it's called, but in the river there's like these little like where the rocks are, and like the river goes like really fast. So if you're there without a floaty, you're gonna scratch something, bruise something, break something. Like, it's super important that you have a floaty because that's like a safety hazard. We went to the river. It was cool at first, you know. We were having a good time. We were stopping by little areas of the river, and there was like cool things, like you can jump off of this thing and like onto the river. But I'm super scared of heights, so I didn't do that. Hold on, let me eat some of this. It's still hella frozen though. I'm scared. That's a lot of chamoy, guys. You see, that liquid is the chamoy. I think I just drank pure chamoy. You know, we would chill at certain spots. We would stop as a group. We would go as a group. Sometimes in the river, you know, like the little reef thingies, I don't know what it's called, but like you had to like untie a rope really fast because if you go as a group, you're gonna flip over, and we didn't want that. So you know, the fun part, it was coming to an end, sadly, because we took a wrong turn. I didn't know when we took a wrong turn. I just saw the look on my tio's face. He was taking a whole 360. He was looking around like he never seen the place before. And I got worried because if the person that's supposed to know this place doesn't know where we're at, we're all screwed. Nobody like really knew the river except him. And once we were getting lost, we were separating. Like, we were going at different speeds and everybody was just all over the place. And you can tell like where you're supposed to be in the river. You can tell like, oh, there's like little reef thingies, there's spots where you can stop and just chill. There's places like where like it's just a river, like there's just a bunch of forest, you know. And whenever we took a wrong turn, we started seeing like a bunch of big houses, and there wasn't really much cool stuff to see there. It was just like, it wasn't a forest anymore. It was just like the open area, you know. I was pedaling faster than everybody. I just wanted to get ahead so that we can hurry up, dip, and leave. I started panicking like once I didn't see nobody around me. Like, okay, my tio is lost, we're all lost. Okay, like that's not a big deal, we're all together, right? Everybody was separated. Everybody was doing their own thing, and we just didn't know what to do. So that's whenever I started panicking because there was nobody around me. Like, let me insert a video. I have a video here, so let me show it to you guys.
All right, so currently we are stranded in the river, and I am paddling by myself because and people that are closest to me, they're like pretty far. You can't even see them. They're right there though, right there. I'm gonna try to catch up to them, and But like I was in front of them at first, but I was getting scared because I was pedaling too fast, and then I looked behind me and there was no one there, and then I was so scared because I waited like on the same spot for like a solid like 2 minutes, and there was no one coming. So I stand up, I started walking backwards, and I see them. So I waited like a few seconds so that so that if I like pedal faster than them, I can catch up to them. So okay. Bye.
And I also took some pictures as well because the place was so beautiful. It was just that, like, who would want to be stranded for an hour? It doesn't matter how pretty the place is. Why would you, like, nobody wants to be stranded, you know? I was just worried. But I tried not to, like, show it physically that I was panicking because I knew that that wasn't going to help the situation. In the river, like, it was going straight all the way. There was a turn, right? I turned and I was going there for a little bit, you know. There was a few people in front of me, as you can see in the video, but they were like kind of far away from me. So I was like, so I was thinking, oh, let me catch up to them, so maybe they know what they're doing. I don't know. But I didn't know them, so I was following some strangers, and I was like, you know what, let me stop. There were some rocks there so I can stop. So I stopped in that little area and I waited for like 2 minutes and to see if somebody would, you know, turn to where I was. I waited and there was nobody there. So the people in front of me, they were even further away from me, and I was waiting for somebody to come and turn towards me, and nobody turned. So I was actually like, I was really worried. So I was like, you know what, let me go back. I don't know, something inside me told me, go back, turn back. So I did, and that's whenever I started seeing everybody there, like as a group. They reunited, and there were some steps right by the river so you can get out. I started pedaling towards them, so then we went through the steps. I think about this moment almost daily. Like, what would have happened if I didn't turn around and go back to see what was going on, to look for people? What if I continued going towards the strangers that I didn't know, just because I didn't know what to do? You know, like, that's the type of things that really gets me thinking, like, what would have happened, you know? So whenever I reunited with my family, we went to the steps and we were walking a little bit. But we realized a little after that in order to leave the area that we were in, we had to go through somebody's backyard and trespass. So we just had to pick the lucky house. And I forgot to tell you guys, when I reunited with my family, most of their floaties were already popped. That was already dangerous in itself, you know, because there's so many rocks, there's so many possibilities that you can easily get hurt. So that was already like a disadvantage that they had. And luckily for me, my floaty never popped. Like, I was going through like the reefs, I was going through all the rocks, you know, and my floaty never popped. And in the video you can see that I wasn't pedaling like this anymore. My hands were closed like in a fist form, and I was pedaling because there was cuts in my hands. I wish I would have recorded that, but there was cuts in my hands because I was maneuvering like my way through the river by grabbing the rocks and like pushing myself forward. Because once we took the wrong turn, the river, it wasn't really like pushing us anymore. It was kind of, I mean, it was going one direction, but it wasn't like really pushing us anymore. So we had to do most of the paddling and moving around. We picked a house to go through the backyard, and we went through this old couple's house. And the old guy, he seemed chill about it. He wasn't really mad about us going through his backyard. But the old lady, girl, let me tell you, she was ready to throw some hands. So mad about us going through her backyard, which I don't blame her, but Like, girl, it's not that serious. We were stranded in the river for over an hour. You can't even let us pass through your backyard. Like, we're trying to leave. Trust me, we don't want to stay here in your house. We're trying to leave. And this girl, she would not let us go through her backyard. She was threatening to call the cops on us. It was like being super rude to us. We were asking her nicely, and even though she was raising her voice at us and cussing us out, we stayed calm and we like asked her nicely to, you know, let us pass by. We're trying to leave. We're not trying to stay here, girl. We are not trying to stay here, trust me. After so many times of asking her to let us through her backyard, she would not. She stayed yelling at us. So whenever, you know, we were tired of that, we just walked through her backyard. Just stayed cussing at us. She was big mad. Like, she was something else. Like I said, there was these big houses everywhere, and where there's big houses, there's a gated community. There was a gate that we had to walk through so we can leave the neighborhood. And let me tell you, this neighborhood, it didn't look like a neighborhood at all. Like, we were walking and it looked like a park with a bunch of trails, and like you couldn't, once we left the house, like there was a few houses here and there, as we started walking towards the gate, it was a bunch of trees everywhere. It was a literal trail. There was no cement. Once we got to the gate, we already had a ride because there were some people that didn't go to the river and they had to pick us up. And it wasn't no like big bus or nothing. It was a literal truck. And it wasn't a truck with, you know, with a back seat. Girl, no, I wish. No, it was a truck with just a passenger and driver's seat. That was it. And we all had to fit in a trunk. And it doesn't sound too bad until I tell you there was 15 of us. So we got in the back seat, in the trunk. Girl, we were tired. Oh, and I don't know if I said this yet, but when we went through the angry old lady's backyard, we had to walk a mile and some change to get to the gate. Girl, we were stranded over an hour in the river. We were walking a mile to the gate. We were cramped up in the back seat of a truck. And we literally looked like some real Mexicans, girl. We were all cramped up. And it was about like a 5-minute drive. So it wasn't too bad, but still we were like really crowded. We were like this. So after that happened, we finally got to our camping spots. Mind you, this was like an all-day thing. We left to go to the river early in the morning. We done came back and the sun was setting. Like, it was an all-day type of thing. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that it was so terrible. I think it was a really cool experience for it to be the first time. It's a cool story to tell as well. I don't know if I would go back to a river. Maybe I would. Maybe. Girl, this mangonada is still frozen. Have a bite. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And that's it for today's video. I love you guys so much. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Mwah!